Hi, everyone. My name is Georgette True, and I'm the host of CPS Real Talk with Miss G. I'm actually working from the office today, and I have uh, my guest right here next to me. Come closer, a little bit closer. So this is a grandfather, and he's trying to protect his grandson, and the system is toying with him as they usually toy with everyone else. Um, I want him to share a little bit of what's going on, and his concern is that neither his son or the bio mom is legit for the child, correct?
That is correct.
And there's a lot of conflict, and they are violent towards each other. So he wants to protect his grandson. Um, what can I say, baby X?
Baby X.
Okay.
Baby X.
So he's calling. We're gonna call his grandson Baby X. Okay. And actually, you can find Baby X right online. Or no?
Yeah, it's called Saving Baby X.
Saving Baby X. Okay. So he's going to
Twitter.
talk a little bit about what's going on and how much the system is dragging it along. And he's going to share a little bit of what's going on. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what's going on? Uh, Child was placed in our care, and we had him for a long period of time.
Hmm.
And so there's this battle going on now with a lot of untruths,
Hmm.
or twisted truths.
Hmm.
And to me, it's just shocking how those who are supposed to take care and protect these kids
Hmm.
are, I can only speak in my situation, is putting them with the wrong person. Even though he's in our care, they won't listen to what is being said by me. And then there's exaggerations or stretching the truth that's going on that I heard about. And usually when you read about things, you go like, okay, well, this could be true, that can't be true. It's true. Because I'm sitting there and it's like, really? But I kept my cool and trying to do the right thing, and will continue to do the right thing because it's paramount that the child's safety and well-being is done above everything else.
Hmm.
So for the department who has a title CPS, in my situation, I don't feel they're putting the child's interests or well-being in the forefront.
Nope.
It's like it doesn't matter. We're going to do what we're going to do what we want to do because that's just the way it is. And it has been nerve-wracking, stressful beyond belief.
Hmm.
Uh, there's a lot of pain that's going on. And I had people tell me, well, just give up, let them take them. And it's like, no, that's not going to happen. I made a promise, and I was raised, if you make a promise, you keep that promise.
Hmm.
So I'm going to do everything in my power legally to make sure that he's protected.
Hmm.
And I have no qualms about who he's supposed to be with, but there's a limit
Hmm.
on what you should give. This is just my opinion. There's a limit on what you should give a person in order for them to take care of their child.
Hmm.
Now, and as we all know, people can go in and fake it. It seem like they're this, real good person or whatnot. But if somebody's telling you that you're making a mistake, you'll need to listen. This isn't about revenge or trying to get even. This is for the safety and well-being of the child. That's my only concern.
And I've seen the child today actually in the office, but I didn't want the child to be exposed. But the child is very attached to both him and his wife. And the child is healthy, beautiful, smart little boy. He doesn't need to be exposed to any of this violence between his dad and his mom. And I have seen this man and his wife do nothing but nourish the child, educate the child. The child is like when I said, how old is he?
2.
He's 2, but I swear I thought he was 8. I'm not joking. That's how educated. I mean, like he's very sweet. He's a very, very sweet child. Very smart, like I said. But this is what goes on in the system. Usually, we all know that the system always prefers the abuser. Okay, so they're against these two, even though they're not abusing the children, but the parents are, right? So they're allowing the mother to all kinds of allegations against the grandparents. And actually, to be honest with you, the system fails us every single day. It fails people, the parents, every single day. If you have no record, they're going to say you have a record. If you have no past history in any criminal activities whatsoever, no felony whatsoever, they're going to say you have a felony. That's what I don't understand. How can judges sit on the bench, right, allowing the social workers to make decisions on cases they know nothing about? Literally know nothing about. So this is the problem we're having right now. Baby X, actually, you can Google Baby X, right?
Yes, it's Saving Baby X.
It's Saving Baby X. That's the name. That's the name. Saving Baby X. This man is very well known. Family,
Oh yeah,
friends
everybody
Yeah.
knows us in the community.
in the community.
He's more popular than I am.
Yeah, the child is more popular than grandpa. But he's very well known. I'm not going to say who because we already talked about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, he doesn't need to go through this. All he wants to do is protect his grandson from both parents. I have heard things on recordings. He has cameras at home. I've heard I've seen violence, and these two parents should not have the child at all. I'm being honest. None of them are safe. They are the best bet, and this is what we fight for. We fight for what is right, the best interest of the child. Okay.
Oh yeah, to be clear.
Yeah.
She said she's seen violence. She hasn't seen violence between the parents.
Right.
Just want to make that clear, so they don't say
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you saw the violence."
No.
It's not.
It's
Between
not like that. It's just recordings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the parents.
Yeah.
So what it is, the mother provokes to get a reaction from the dad. The dad falls in the trap. That's how it works. The dad falls in the trap, and he's letting his aggression out. But then the mother will use the tape to show the court that he's the violent one, right? And we all know when you're dealing with a narcissist, you cannot lose your cool. So he didn't know about this. Most of us, when we get into relationships, we don't know what we're getting into, right? So you just, it's like a box of chocolate. You don't know what you're going to eat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that's just how relationships are. But as for the best fit, it's this man right here and his wife.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So you want to say anything before you go see yours?
No, it's just that this has been a unfortunate situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's been very, very extremely stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But to have someone while you're sitting there just outright lie and all these allegations, just because, in my opinion, it's almost as if somebody is like envious of what you have or who you are. So they're gonna go out and try to destroy that. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. I was raised by my mother, and my father also taught me, basically is don't speak it unless you can be it. I made a promise. I'm gonna keep that promise because my thing is every child deserves the right to be great, and no one should hinder that. No one should put that above anything else. The child's well-being and safety should outweigh everything else. I can understand you trying to make somebody, improve themselves. That's good. I have no problems with that. My problem is that you're not really paying attention. People are too focused on the wrong side of things as opposed to the right side of things, whether it be their bias, whether it be experiences that they went through themselves that they bring to the table. All that has to be put aside. The best interest of the child is paramount. That's it. The well-being interest, that's it. Because what people do to these kids affects them. I see it happening. It's happening now. But everybody has, this is just my opinion, have these hidden agendas, whatever it is. You need to forget that and concentrate on the well-being and safety of the child. And I'm gonna do everything in my power legally to make sure that he's safe.
And I think I couldn't say it better myself.
Thank you very much.
Yep. And I honestly, I'm, I just, I talked to so many people this morning, and a lot of parents are losing their rights. And you guys need to make sure that all your therapist letters are available. You guys need to make sure that the therapist would include in her letter or his letter how your sessions are going. What have you learned? Because now the social workers are saying to the courts, well, Your Honor, the therapist did not disclose what she learned in the class or what he learned in the class. I mean, in the session, sorry. So basically, now the social workers say, oh, it's not good enough that the therapist is saying that this parent should have their children back. It's not enough. They need now to disclose um, how, like, what did she learn or what did he learn. So make sure when you get a letter from your therapist, make sure that sure the therapist includes what have you learned, what sessions have you accomplished, right? So if it's watching a movie, I'm giving you an example, okay? If it's watching a documentary, just say on April 14, Miss so and so watched a documentary of parenting. The documentary was an hour and 20 minutes. On April blah 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 blah. I met with Miss so and we discussed session la 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 la. Like basically break it down to the courts so that way you can shut the social worker. What else are they going to say they want? Right? I mean, literally, you need to submit this paperwork to your court-appointed attorney or your attorney by via email or text message. Take a screenshot or scan it and send it via text message or email. It's important, you guys, to do this because social workers are using excuses to make sure they're stealing your children from you. It is not, I was talking to a shelter manager today, and she told me that had she not seen with her own eyes, she would never have believed that that's what goes on in the system. She used to think that the social workers are there to protect, but she realized they're not. She realized that good parents are being attacked. There is a grandmother in the shelter currently, LA County shelter, and that's really what gets me. The grandmother, husband, the grandfather died a year ago. The grandmother is the sole guardian of the children. She went to a shelter because the father and the mother are ex-cons and they wanted to kill her. So they came out of prison, went after grandma. Grandma was told by the police, go to a shelter with the child. Grandma is very loving, a young grandma. We're not talking about, she's not 180 years old, right? She's young, she's beautiful, she's energetic, she has more energy than me. And one of the whatever caseworkers in the shelter called CPS against the grandmother and told, because the child was like 7 years old, is 7 years old. So basically the child just turned 7, he was 6 when this happened. And they called CPS. CPS got involved, took the grandchild from her. She has legal custody of the child. She's the legal guardian. And it was done legally through the court, family court. But they went after her, put the child in an adoptive home, right? And the child, basically the social worker is telling grandma that she's never going to see her grandchild again, or grandchildren again. And they divide the children apart, depending on the age of the children. So the 9-year-old is in a group home, right? The 6-year-old is in an adoptive home. And God knows what's going on with the 11-year-old. I'm showing you guys that there's a lot of corruption. And one of the managers, the case managers there in that shelter, seen her people that she works with making incentives from this shit. Incentives. This is deeper than we all think. While most of the American people and the world think that the system is designed to help and protect. They're not designed to help and protect. Otherwise, God forbid in a million years, if they touch his grandson, they're going to traumatize him and medicate him to keep him from crying for his grandparents. All for money, all for profit, all for incentives. That's all it is. Incentives. Okay, so I want you guys to bring awareness anywhere with everyone. Bring awareness of what's going on. And anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say one more thing. Like this isn't our first rodeo. There was another situation regarding a child, and the child had a bruise under his eye. I showed it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody saw it, even in court documents. And the mother still has the child.
Mm-hmm.
There was a audio when the child was trying to get away from said mother, and I let those people that would be able to do something. But then it amazes me how people always try to make excuses for it,
Mm-hmm.
saying, well, one person told me, how did he put it? Well, I'm a parent and I have kids. I could, if I take it from that angle, it could be that the child is crying because they want something or something like that. If I take it from another angle, it could be that the child's in pain. Now, if you hear the audio, the child is crying in pain. Nothing was done. Yeah, nothing, yeah. I still get upset about it. Nothing was done. And the child is still with that person, much older now. And that haunts me every single day. This situation is, and dare I say, much worse, because of people manipulating the system to fit their needs, and they're very good at it. And if people are supposed to be trained who knows? You know, I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. But when I was a CASA years ago, and somebody told me, he said, "How many kids do you think is in the system?" And then I'm like, "What do you mean, like in California?" I said, "I don't know." I gave him some weird number. I can't remember. Then he told me, he says, "There's so many kids." This was back in maybe 4 years ago,
Mhm.
4 or 5 years ago. He said there were so many kids in the foster care system in California that they have to ship some of the kids out of state, and that that floored me because people, you know, because you don't hear a lot of stuff you don't hear in the news. And the only way I learned about it is because I became a CASA,
Mhm.
and when I became a CASA, that was eye opening, you know. And when you talk to a child that's been in the foster care system and you hear directly from them, it's um, there's a lot that's going on that not only California, but this country needs to wake up.
Mhm.
They need to wake up because there's a lot of kids out there lost. I mean, I would go to work when I used to work someplace in Los Angeles, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm driving to work. I see a couple of kids on the street, and I'm like looking. I was like, aren't they kind of young to be out 4 o'clock in the morning? And I saw this guy literally drop this girl off. She couldn't look no more than maybe 12, and she
Mm.
had a little might have been a 6 or something like that, like maybe 6, 7, something like that. And so then I saw it. So then I called. I think at that time it was Children of the Night or something like that. So I called them. I called the police and told them where they were. And then because I went around the block to make sure that they were there, but then they were gone. But I told the police what area they were in,
Mhm.
and this was years ago. You know, so this country needs to wake up because there's a lot of kids that need help, and it goes deeper than
It
that.
does.
It goes deeper than that because I've
What about
seen.
the foster homes that are sex offenders and they have placement of teenagers,
Mm,
minors? They have
mm,
placement of minors who are sex trafficking children. That's in New Jersey, in New York, all over the United States. They're putting children who are minors in sex offenders' homes. And the only reason we know this is because the parents would hire private investigators to find out. How can a social worker not know that this person has sex offender a record on that person? Why? I mean, think about it for a second. How could they not know? They know. Go ahead. I
yeah.
had to say that though.
Oh yeah. No. So there's a lot of things that's going on because uh, I was working on another documentary, and then this gentleman we were walking. It's like maybe we was walking to this meeting, this thing that was going on. So we keep talking. Then so what do you know about kids? You know, and that's in a certain, how can I put this without saying too much? It's it's a certain thing that's going on. I
Hmm.
mean, it's legit and everything. So then all of a sudden he tells me, he says, uh, you should check into a certain situation. And it caught me off guard because I've heard about it, but for someone to actually
Uh-huh.
tell me, and I just met this, we just met because
Right.
it was doing another event that was going on, and I
Hmm.
was covering that event.
Right.
And so then he told me, he said, no, he said, you should really check it out, you know. And then I looked, like I said, it was clearly out the blue. And I don't want to say too much, but for someone to tell me something that I kind of heard about, was like, okay, yeah, like you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But you still doubted. Before this happened, after you heard what you heard, you still doubted a little bit, right?
Well, I'm the type of person that's like, I need proof.
Yeah, proof, right?
You know, because
Yeah.
people will say anything. People have hidden agendas, things of that nature.
Hmm.
But for
Now he has proof. He has to deal with it himself.
oh yeah, proof, yeah.
There you go.
But it goes a lot deeper
Yeah.
into
Right.
what's actually going on because he didn't know me from. We like I said, we just met during this event, and then he told me I should check into it.
Hmm.
You know.
So check into it. That's what everybody needs to do. But we have Stacy with us. So Stacy's schedule changed drastically from the hospital, right? She has a new schedule now, right?
I do,
Right,
Miss G.
Stacy?
Yep. Yep. I do, Miss G.
And she's gonna be with me. Thank God. I've been waiting for a year for this to happen. So I'm so thankful, and she's with us right now. But she's driving back from a court watch she was at, and she would like to share with us what's going on. And I would like to hear everything she has to say. Come on,
So
Missy.
yeah, so sorry my appearance, Miss G, because it's been a crazy business. You can hear me?
I can hear you, but you're going in
Can
and
you hear me,
out
Miss
with
G?
your. Yeah, I can hear you,
Hold
but
on,
you're
I
going in and out. Okay. Can you just
Okay.
stop the car for a minute? So yeah,
I'll try to
because I
stop the
like
car.
people to
Okay.
watch you
Can
and
you hear
hear
me now,
you
though, if I
without any
stop here?
distraction. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me
No,
better now,
I
though?
can hear you, but yeah.
I work in the boonies, Miss G.
You look fine. You're beautiful. Stop it.
Just tell me, can you hear me better now? I'm gonna stop where you can hear me
Yes, but
better.
you're just your emotion is just your emotion is stuck
Okay.
on
Can you
crazy.
hear me now? All right.
Yes.
So today was a very crazy day, all day court watching. Um, it seems like when I talked to the people we were court watching for, some people were learning from some mistakes, and some people did some seriously concerning things. Um, and the one thing that was, the one thing that I promised people I would talk about today is the importance of family getting along, even if you have different opinions or you're at odds about, some things. You have to get along, because otherwise the system preys on your family that you're vulnerable and they take your kids away from you. Um, and that was kind of the story today, because family can do supervised access for a mother that's going through substance abuse rehab, but one parent was already 5 years clean with one accidental tox turning positive for Adderall, and the other one has been clean for a year. And we've discussed this, Ms. G, that even that it doesn't rise to a level of imminent danger when there's substance abuse, but the family is doing the supervised access, and they're all fighting, and so they're not really letting the mother see the kids. So family really needs to get along, because if they don't, these kids are going to end up in the system. And so we talked about that today. And one of the funny things was, Miss G, there was an attorney at court going around telling her clients not to talk to us. She was pulling them aside. I need to talk to you. And then she was telling them not to talk to us. And then they would come back out and tell us that that's what she said to them.
That's crazy. And do you remember when I was in court? I told I was in court with one of, the people that watched the show. And the attorney did the same thing. And they told her not to speak with me.
Yeah.
And
But
she's like,
that
Miss
just
G,
shows,
they told me not to speak with you. And I'm like, why? Yeah. Why? Yeah.
it shows that it
She
shows
wasn't a
that
client,
you're doing
just to let you
something.
know.
What's that? It
Illegal,
shows that,
illegal,
yeah, and it shows that you're doing something
illegal. They're
that's
literally
effective.
illegally stealing children.
Yeah, and they don't want people to know. You know, they want to keep it all secret.
And you know what? And that's why it shouldn't be confidentiality, as they say. You cannot talk about your case and all that. But if you don't talk about your case, how are you gonna see the deception? Because oftentimes parents don't know what's going on, right? They don't know that they're being deceived. So just to let you guys know, the lights went off because it's a sensor. The office is sensor the light, and we've been sitting for a while, so it just turned off. Unless somebody gets up and walks, and then it will turn back on again. But I'm not gonna do it. No, it's okay. Don't do it. But usually that's why they want parents in the dark. They don't want parents to. Uh, they don't want parents to know really how to get out of this mess, because what they do is they feed you guys with lies that if you do the classes, you're going to be fine. If you do the classes, you're going to get your children back. You don't need to hire an attorney. You're already going to get a free attorney, but a free attorney has only one motive in mind, and that's to follow the guidelines of the state and the county and to abide by what they want from him or her. That's it. To do nothing more than what is required of them. Remember, the attorneys get the court-appointed attorney have a scope they have to follow, right? They have to follow that. Whatever the judges and the county wants them to do, that's what he or she has to do. They can't go above, right, what their requirements are, because they're going to say, you went above and beyond. Nope, that's not what we asked you for. That attorney may never work again. That's why oftentimes the court-appointed attorney are afraid to do anything. Stacy, you can correct me if you want, but
No,
that's
yeah,
what the truth is, though.
yeah.
It's exactly what happened.
I had a CPS attorney give to me a confession just before she fell and hit her head and went into a nursing home. And so she was retired, but she felt she had to confess this to me. And she met me out for lunch, and she explained how it went. She found out by accident, or somebody told her that her baby, because it was on a baby that she was dealing with her jurisdiction, and they took her baby and they were adopting the baby out to other people in another county, and they secreted it from her. So she went, and they told her to leave if she cared about keeping her
And there
license.
goes
And it was a
Stacy.
threat.
Stop
Am I back?
driving.
That was because someone tried to call me.
Stacy, are you driving again? I literally specifically gave you
I
instructions
do.
to
Well,
park
I
the
do have
car.
to drive somewhat because I'm driving to work. But did you hear my story? Were you able to hear it?
Oh, wait, you told me you were going to be, oh, okay.
The one where the attorney, she
Somewhat.
confessed.
Did you hear everything?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Some of it broke up.
Yeah, some of it broke up. That's why she has a lot. She has a lot to say, which is good, knowledgeable things, but people have to hear you.
I can hear you fine, so I don't think anything of it. Like, I don't realize there's an issue. I can hear you fine, so I don't think anything of it. Like, I don't realize.
No, I can, no, there's an issue. Tell her. She doesn't believe me.
Oh, that's an issue.
No, I believe you. It's just like I don't notice it because I hear you okay.
That you're
You know.
cutting in and out, and yeah, I know you don't notice, but yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Stacy, does this mean we're not gonna be like? You gonna be on the road every time or what?
No, no. In fact, I only work 3
That's
days
not
for the
what
next
we
2 weeks.
discussed, Miss Stacy.
I only worked
Okay.
3 days the next
So
2
3
weeks,
days
so I
in the
should be good.
hospital, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 days in the hospital, right? Okay, got it. All right. So next week, I want you to share now what people really want to hear, because you have a lot of important information. I think it needs to be shared with others, really, honestly, without any interruption.
That's right.
Okay, Miss
I'm
G.
not driving.
I'm gonna listen to you guys for now. Okay, Miss G. I'm
And
gonna listen to you guys for now.
no, you can talk, but what I'm saying is it's so hard to get it from you because you're freezing, you're cutting off, you know, you're freezing. I need people to hear you. Oh, isn't she cute? That's my girl. I know.
Mm.
By the way, Stacy, you look better without makeup. So just FYI. See, now she's not talking. Now she's giving us a silent treatment. Stacy. Okay. I cannot unmute her. She has the upper hand on that one. Okay, so I love you, Stacy. You have to mute yourself, honey. Oh my God. Now she's stuck on the smile. Look. Stacy. By the way, Stacy has a very crazy story as well.
Mm.
Her ex-husband is a CPS attorney. Uh-huh. And she's a physician assistant in a hospital. And CPS went against her and her family and sided with her ex-husband.
Mm.
So that's why she became an advocate for parents in New York, Buffalo, New York, and she's been helping parents as well.
Mm.
And she does court watching in court. So if there's, but now they're trying to stop her. And do you want to? Hopefully, you're not going to get cut off. But do you want to share real quick about why you do court watching and what did they tell you when you started doing court watching? They told you cannot do it, but you can. Can you explain that to him real quick? Because he wants to be part of something that will help parents and grandparents and siblings, and relatives to fight for their rights. Okay? So I want you to share your court watching with him because he hasn't watched it before.
Camera off. Okay. I'm
Huh?
gonna turn the camera off and maybe my voice will be better, okay?
Okay, go
Can you
ahead.
hear me pretty good now? Okay,
Not
I'm gonna
really,
put the
but
camera
go
off.
ahead. Okay.
Okay. Do you hear me better this way?
Yeah, go ahead, baby.
How
Go
about
ahead. Did she just drop the phone?
yeah, so
Did you drop the
my
phone, Chase?
no, I turned the camera off. No,
Okay.
I took you off of Bluetooth. It was on Bluetooth in my car. So yeah,
Okay.
my ex-husband is an attorney and he formerly worked for Child Protective Services. My children disclosed severe abuse, including strangulation and sexual abuse, and the courts still gave him custody over me. I have no history of abuse or neglect of children. He has 4 CPS indications for child abuse and maltreatment. So he still has
He has a
custody.
history.
And
How's that possible?
so, I feel as if court watchers were watching my case, that I would have custody today because there's no way a judge would have done what they did to my children with the public watching.
Okay.
And so we started a court watching organization where we go in and we exercise.
But in cases like that, I thought only certain people can get into court regarding children.
Keeps judges.
Stacy, you're gone now. You're gone. It does happen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It does happen. You said, how is that possible? How can it be possible? Look what's happening to you. But see, you're coming after your boy. That's what you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
You still have him right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you think you think you're gonna keep, but that's not what they want.
So basically, it's not in the best interest of the child.
No, nothing they do is in the best interest of the child. Absolutely zero. Zero. Nothing they do is for the best interest of the child. That's why, um, um, that's why it's very important to lawyer up. It's very important to lawyer up. Um, and I was explaining to the case man or the manager at the shelter facility had her client contacted an attorney. This is LA County, by the way. Has our client contacted us, for example, from the beginning of the case, her case wouldn't be towards TPR right now, and it's going to be way more expensive to help her. Right?
You mean
Way more
CPS?
expensive.
CPS?
Yeah. And all she did is protect her children from the abuser. This is more than one. It's not just the grandmother I was talking about earlier. This is parents, this is mothers who are loving, who are caring. That the shelter has only one decent human being that did the right thing by protecting the mother or trying to protect the mother or standing up. Literally, she's backing the mother up because she's seen how loving she was to her child in the shelter. So now she's in trouble. She's in trouble because she's helping that mother. So the manager, the main manager of the shelter, told her, "This is none of our business. Let them do whatever they want to do. That's their lives, not ours." So in her mind, she said, "I became, I wanted to work in a shelter because I wanted to help people. I wanted to protect people." But she didn't know that it's so corrupt in there. And that's why schools, school districts, and hospitals, and therapists, and psychiatrists, all these people use the system, the children, CPS courts, to have job security. Senator Nancy Schaefer from Georgia said it very well. All of them have job securities. She was a senator for Georgia, as we all know, and she was murdered because she exposed the state and the county for the corruption. And then they blamed it that her husband shot her. I don't believe so. I don't think so. So, with all that being said, we all have to stand up. We're literally paying for their position. We're paying for their seat. If you guys gather all the Americans, we are giving them money. We are giving them salary. Well, I didn't give them a raise. They deserve nothing but maybe $1 an hour for their services. Seriously, I'm not joking. They go after the poor, the needy. They go after people who cannot afford an attorney. Why? Yes, they are. Yes. Is CPS making money off of taking people's children? Yes, they are. So if anybody tells you otherwise, they're liars. It's been proven. They lie in court documents. They fabricate information. In fact, after later, when you guys have time, Google search CPS attorney telling 3 appellate judges that it's okay for the social workers to lie, to steal children, to take children from parents, from family. That it's okay. She tried to convince 3 judges that it's okay to lie, to take take children from parents. It's all over the exposure. If people like me and other people who don't expose, we don't have time to expose it, we don't have time to educate, who else will? And you guys still question. Are you kidding? Social worker also was on a show before saying how she only took this job to help others, and not everybody is bad, and blah 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 blah, and all this bullshit. Because a lot of social workers resign when they find the corruption. They resign from the department. The ones that remain there are just as corrupt as their supervisors. Because if they can go to sleep at night and live their lives, that means they lack remorse, they lack compassion, they lack doing the right thing. So these people are narcissistic, sociopathic idiots that don't deserve to be in such a job. They should never have a career such as this, period. So therefore, uh-oh, we can't show. Okay, grandpa has to go. But yeah, but people like that do not deserve to have such a job because they are literally hurting families for money. It's a profit. It's all for profit. That's all it is. Profit, money. That's all they care about. They care about their new car. They care about, paying their mortgage. Those people that they're fighting against can't even buy a house, so they can afford buying their Tesla, so they can afford buying their Lexus, so they can afford buying their Mercedes, and they have homes to live in. So they're stealing people who can't afford an attorney, kids, they're stealing their kids, so they can make money from these kids through the federal funds. Google it. There's so much corruption out there that you guys are not aware of, or you guys are not doing your homework. I don't believe anything a social worker would say. They all lie. Lie. I was in court, and the one of the mother recorded the social worker telling her and her son that I am going to lie under oath, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like she wanted to trigger gaslight the mother and her son, her adult son, literally in court before the hearing. When the son said, I will tell my mother's attorney about what you just said, she laughed at the mother's face and she said, no one will believe you, honey. We're above the law. And she walked away. And indeed, the mother said she lied under oath. So they will literally gaslight you. And that was in LA County, Monterey Park Courthouse, by the way. That was in Department 407. So I look at them and I know if you remain in that damn job career goal of yours, you are not a decent human being. Because the supervisor will tell you what to do. And if your supervisor tells you what to do, you better do it. If you're against it, then you are going to get fired. So oftentimes, the people that remain there do it. How many calls did I get throughout my time with Davis? I got over 35% of the calls, let me put it to you that way, were previous social workers who either retired or still working there, that have kids and are grandparents, and the system went after their grandchildren. Ironic, isn't it? And the social worker, when I speak to them, they tell me this is payback for what I've done to other parents. As God is my witness, you guys, I've heard this so many times. This is because of what I did to other parents. And what am I going to say? I'm going to say, yeah, payback is a bitch, huh? I didn't say anything other than let me see what I can help you. But a part of me wanted to say, how could you? How could you do this to other parents? That's what I wanted to say. How could you have done this? How could you? Why didn't you do the right thing? But at times like this, you don't want to go through all that. You just want to try to do your best to help them. But like I said, these people have a bigger payback to get, to pay, I mean, to deal with, because they do get it through their children. My mom, God rest her soul, her and my father used to say, what you do to other, if you do bad to others, it will hurt your children, right? Bad deeds hurt your family. When you do good deeds, when you love from your heart, you have compassion for others and truly love people, somebody would be placed in your children's lives when you're gone, dead, that will help them, that will be there for them, that will guide them to the right, the right path when they're dealing with the unknown. So again, what you do to others will be done unto you. So to me, a social worker doing this to children, it will come back to her own. And believe me, it does. Believe me, it does. There's another social worker who met the mother. And by the way, I know the mother. Me and her became close, and me and her went to Ralph's. And we were walking, and she saw the social worker with a man. I don't know if it's her son, her brother, whatever. She saw the social worker, and she just looked at her, and she spit on the ground when she saw her. And I said, why did you do that? She said, that's a social worker that took my kids from me. So I went up to her. That was recently, that was last week. I went up to her, and I'm very bold. I speak my mind, as most of you guys know. I went up to her and I said, are you the one that took her children, stole her children from her? And she just looked at me, and she didn't want to say anything. She walked away. I said, be careful what you do to others, because whatever you do to others will come back to you in ways you will not be able to, like, you can't even outsmart what's going to come to you, because bad deeds bring bad deeds to you. Whatever you do will come to you. That's exactly what I told her. And she looked at me, and she did the middle finger from her back. She went like this. And whatever the guy that she was with did the same thing, basically, like, if you, we don't care what you have to say. As soon as she was pulling out, it's true story. I wish I had the phone to record it, like, ready. I didn't know it was going to happen. As soon as she was pulling out from the parking lot, we were still walking, and then all of a sudden, a truck, SUV, sorry, was driving, literally took her car and twisted it. It was like a big crash. And then I just looked at her when this happened, and I'm like shaking my head. The lady, the mother that was next to me, she said, damn, Miss G, payback is a bitch, right? And I said, nah, that's not it. Because see, when you steal your heart, your joy, because your children are your joy. They're your joy. When you steal an innocent child or children from their family, innocent people, it will come back to you, not just in a car accident or, that's not it, but it will lead you to see the same pain that parents felt with you watching your grandchildren being stripped away from your own children. That's the payback that will cause them to remember and reflect back on everything they've done to other parents. They're going to remember you by name. They're going to remember the time they went to your house where you were crying on the ground or on the floor, and you're begging them not to steal your children, and they're laughing at you. They remember. All this comes back to them. And I say this because that's what that grandmother told me on the phone. She said she remembered everything that the social that she's done to other parents was when she was a social worker. So guys, you know, don't worry about it so much what's going to happen to them, but it will happen to them. But what I want you guys to know is I want you guys to Google, to search, to do your due diligence before you open your mouth to a social worker, before you can trust a social worker. I don't even care if the social worker is in your family group or she's in your friend zone or whatever. I don't trust them. I never will, because the ones that remain there see the corruption and they do nothing about it. The ones that leave become the whistleblowers. And two of my closest friends right now are whistleblowers that used to work for the Department of Children and Family Services. One of them in Monterey Park, the other one in up north. So don't be fooled. Don't think that you're off the hook because once you complete your classes, you're going to be cool with the social workers. Don't think you can friend them and everything will be cool. Sweetheart, this is a business transaction to them because that's your money. That's their money that they're taking off of your children. So keep that in mind and lawyer up from day one, lawyer up before you even call the social workers, lawyer up before you give any type of information to a social worker, lawyer up to make sure the kids are not removed from the home. That's the only way, the cheapest way to make sure your kids are not removed from you. Don't just hire any attorney, hire a CPS defense attorney that can help you. Don't go to family law attorneys. Don't go to criminal law attorneys. Don't go to immigration attorneys. For God's sakes, you know how much less of a retainer you will pay when you pay an attorney to make sure your kids are not removed from your home to begin with, without you opening your mouth to the social worker to begin with? It's a lot cheaper than when you call us when you're in your TPR stage of your hearing or trial stage of your hearing. Your case, I mean. That would be a lot cheaper. Now you're going into the thousands of dollars retainers because you thought your mom was right or your aunt was right or your sister was right or your friend was right by telling you just do whatever the social worker tells you to do and you're going to have your kids. That's a lie. That is a freaking lie. That's like you going to be what do you call that when they question you, the cops, you know, get the good cop and the bad cop, and you got the bad cop saying you better tell us. The good cop is like, you know what, man, I got you, I guarantee you're not going to go to jail. Just tell us who helped you. We're going to make sure nobody finds out, right? What do? You open your mouth. Anything you say will be held against you. Anything. And not just anything, they add to what you say. I'm not saying the police does that. I'm giving you an example. I'm talking about the social workers right now. They add to what you say. They literally add to what you say, not in a nice way or in a good way or in a way to help you. This is to hinder you, to hurt you. Because the judge will take their recommendation 100% of the freaking time. The judge will take their recommendation. And I hate the fact that they give children medication, they medicate them while they're in CPS custody, while they're in a foster home, and the foster parents don't know crap. All they know, the parents are bad, they're on drugs, they're this, they're that. That's it. That is it. So therefore, lawyer up. Lawyer up.
And definitely, I
Yeah.
didn't interrupt.
From the beginning of the case.
Yes,
The beginning
definitely
of the case.
Don't talk to the social worker.
Right. So when you talk to the social workers, that's when they set you up to fail
Mhm.
literally 100%, not even 15%, 100%. They're like have a mind of a peanut, little peanut. They're so demonic. They will add. They add things in their reports. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And when they hire a private investigator, the social workers actually say things like, "Did you hire a private investigator? Did you? I need to know." But you're in a public place. You're in a park. Why do you care so much? Well, I don't want anyone to record me. I don't want anyone to listen to what we talk about. So I need to know if you hired a private investigator. They're so freaked out that they don't want to be caught. This was just recently. They're telling the mother that they don't like it. They feel like somebody's watching them. You got to be literally out of your mind to be that paranoid. And they're saying that the parents need help. They're saying that the grandparents need help. They're saying that they're mentally unstable when they themselves, the social workers, are mentally unstable. They need psychiatric evaluations and they need to be medicated so they can stop hurting other families. I'm telling you the God honest truth. You need to fight for your children before your child is removed. You can't afford a retainer? Well, think about that when you have to deal with them in court. That's all I got to say, man. I'm just seriously, they're not to be trusted, period. And that's all I got to say. All right. Got to end the show now. God bless you. Thank you, James. Thank you, Angelina. And thank you, Ty, for your. Ty, I still don't understand your question. If you're asking me a question, or I don't know, or you're making a statement. But either way, is CPS making money off taking people's children? Question mark. Yeah.
Could I say one thing?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to say is, what needs to happen is it needs to be like some type of where people can get together, because it's like what's that expression of saying it takes a village to raise a child?
Yeah.
It takes a village to fight these people.
Yes, it does.
So whether you're a parent, grandparent, cousins, sisters, brothers, to do if y'all believe that what's in the best interest of the child and well-being of the child, everybody, it needs to be a unity for people to come together, because we're going to become a system. And I had to find this out the hard way, not once but twice. And this situation is worse than the first one. But when somebody told me that they'll lie on you, I'm like, why would it's CPS, Child Protective Services.
Right. Yep.
We're a victim.
Yep.
Of them lying or twisting things to fit their narrative.
The narrative.
To get done what they want to get done. And if they tell you don't talk to them, believe me, don't talk to them, because they will do things to twist it, and you think you're helping the situation out. I can only speak for myself. And then they go in there and turn everything around, and you sit there go with egg on your face. But like I said, I was there. I kept my cool. So I don't know if I was stunned and everything, because I looked at them, and then because it's what's that expression, that smile on your face, all the while they want to take your place. The backstabbers.
Backstabbers.
They'll be all nice.
It's a song.
It's a song. They'll smile in your face and be all like this and everything. And then it's like my mother told me, trust your instincts. If you think something is wrong, like I only speak in my case, it's wrong.
Mhm.
What I thought was wrong, the feeling that I had, turned out to be true
Mhm.
and worse. So I'm thinking, oh, they'd be nice, but then when they turn nice, I'm like, why are they nice all of a sudden? They're nice so they can turn around and stab you right in your back.
Mhm.
These are facts.
Yep. And that's why it's important for us to unite. Unity
Yeah.
is so important.
Yeah.
They don't want the country to be united. That's why there's so many divisions out there. They're dividing us apart. You know, I didn't even want to. I don't even know what to say about what's going on right now with the riots and the Palestinians and all this and the Jews and all that.
Mm.
God bless both sides. But honestly, I want us to have unity when it comes to saving children. Children,
Oh yeah. No.
children needs to be saved.
Mm.
Children should never be medicated, ever be medicated, ever. We need to save them. We need to bring awareness out there. I literally speak my mind because people are tired of the lies, right? I can't sugarcoat anything, even if you paid me money for it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Angelina said these children are suffering. We need to put that at the utmost first priority of all agendas. Why are we hurting and traumatizing babies? Innocent babies are so beyond the most vulnerable. Exactly. And the reason they're traumatizing is money. The love of money is the root of all evil.
Mhm.
All evil.
Mm.
And another thing too, you have to be literally possessed by legions of demons in order for you to do what you do when you steal innocent children like this. Innocent children and inflicting pain on good families.
Mm.
To me, you have to be possessed by legions of demons to do what you do. So any social worker that I see, I have no respect for because I know they stayed around. Court appointed attorney, same way. If they're still working for the state and county, they are just as bad and corrupt. State judges, shame on you. Shame on you for hurting parents. Shame on you for allowing the social workers to have the last word. Shame on you for not doing your job and be a fair judge. To me, these people are going to reap what they sow, one by one by one.
Yeah. And then if I may add one more thing, like the Twitter account called Saving Baby X. That's the Twitter account. And I want to thank Lady G for having me on. I came down here. I had no intentions on
I had
coming
an
on here.
appointment with him. I know, we had an appointment actually. He
I
didn't
had-
have intention for this.
Yeah, I had no intentions of coming on here because I'm more the type to be in the background. But I don't know what your beliefs are out there or whatever. But I was raised Catholic. Uh, Sometimes I don't practice it. Well, a lot of times I don't. but my belief is God works in mysterious ways. And so when she asked me, I was like, because I don't like being on camera, especially looking like this. This is for something another project that I'm doing. But this is too important. It's way too important because, like I said, I'm going through it twice. Going through it twice.
Yeah.
And then the first situation, I can't get too much into it, but I made a promise, and I told my grandchild, no matter what, I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
So when the parents didn't do the right thing, or this one case particularly, one of the individuals to do the right thing, it took me 2 years to find him.
Mhm.
After I found him, I drove 4, maybe 3, 4, sometimes depends on traffic, 5 hours one way
Mhm.
to go see him, to go pick him up, come back down, turn around the next day and take him back. Only missed one day. That's because the parent said, something. So I said, okay, I work, even though I couldn't stand that particular parent, I worked with that parent because the grandchild was the most important thing. And I had police officers telling me, why are you doing this? I said, we don't know parents that do that. He said, where are you coming from? So I told him I was coming from. He said, why are you doing it? I said, because I made a promise to him. When I was a CASA, I made a promise and I stuck to it, and I stuck to it. So if your guys have, stories, if your guys, it needs teamwork.
It does.
It's teamwork because we all have to, or we have to come together and put our minds together. And I'm one of the easiest people. I'm one of the easiest person to work with, and I can't do it by myself.
We all have to.
Can't do it by herself. So it takes
A village.
people with good intentions, no hidden agendas. If you're a bad parent, you're a bad parent. If you're a bad grandparent, you're a bad grandparent. That's it. I don't need at this particular point. And one thing that I was raised, I never had anybody that was negative in my life. I was raised with 3 strong, independent women. That's how I was raised. And so I don't have time for fake drama. People need to get involved that are serious, that wants to make a change. Like I said, there's a reason.
Who are serious, not doing it for money.
Right. Not doing
Don't do it for profit. Please do not charge parents to speak to you about their case or to. I'm talking about if you're an attorney, then yes, you charge for your consultations. Everybody charges for consultation. I get that. But if you're just an ordinary, like a regular parent, right, helping another parent, don't do that. Don't make it for money.
Right.
Because what I see right now is it's like a business. You should help from your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart, literally help from your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And
no hidden agendas.
And no hidden agendas.
Because
it's not right for you to take advantage of the vulnerable because you've been vulnerable. And that's what blows my mind. How do people, you've been in it, you've been in it, the situation, but yet you hurt the parent by taking money from them to make them think you're helping them. And you're not even an attorney. I'm sorry, I can't process that. I'm so sorry if I hurt anyone, and not my intention whatsoever, but I can't process it. Like when that lady this mother asked me to go with her to court, I went. I waited for her outside, not charge her a penny for it. So please, help from your heart. Literally guide people, educate people from your heart. And God's blessings would pour on you and your family. Because when we have a different agenda in mind and we go pretending, with other people, you don't want to deal with God's wrath because it's bad. Either help from your heart or don't help a lot at all. But oftentimes you guys say use AI to help somebody with their appeal. Or you'd use AI to help somebody with their declaration. And you and I know you're a liar when you tell the people that you actually use, you wrote it yourself. Nobody else needed to help you. So, and you used AI for it. You know what you've done. So, seek the right legal help from an attorney that's been doing it for years, and I'm being honest. If you're in Texas, Attorney Matthew Harris. If you're in New York, Attorney Michael. If you're, he's a CPS defense attorney. Attorney Matthew Harris is a CPS defense attorney as well. In California, in Los Angeles County, is Attorney Davis, and I think there's 2 other attorneys I know. There are 2 ladies, Attorney Cree, and oh my God, I forgot the other name, but it will come to me. But yeah, make sure there's CPS defense attorneys that understands how to fight the system. Okay, otherwise, it's going to be very hard and it's going to be very difficult for people to say they can help you and they can't help you. Okay? So, God bless you. Yes, Angelina, the corruption, it's corrupted. Yeah, it's very corrupted. It's all for money, like Angelina said. I love that woman. Yeah. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope you guys share this video with anyone you know. It doesn't matter if they are dealing with CPS or not. It doesn't matter. Again, thank you, James, for your comment that you like my hair. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. I love you too, Angelina. Mwah. All right. I'll see you guys, God willing, tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. is Relatives Fight CPS. So if you have a relatives, please share this with them and have them watch tomorrow and share the video with everyone, like I said. Love you guys.